It's massive. The way it's stepped up physically, it's just massive. So yeah, you're going to get that, and you've got to test your depth. And we've got 3 or 4 guys stepping up, have been playing well for the twos, and we're excited about them playing. There's some exciting young players in there. We're really confident in them. They've been part of the squad, so looking forward to seeing them go.
Good stuff. And a word on the opposition. Durham pose a number of threats across the field. How do you plan to take them on?
As I said, we've got a bit of a game plan on them. Yeah, they're always strong. They always recruit well. They've got a good team of coaches in there, but so are we. So we're looking forward to the ding dong battle.
Very tight-lipped, Aaron. I look forward to seeing your boys out there.
Thanks, Jared. Cheers.
Alex, it is great to see you as always. Your third away game on the bounce. It's a punishing schedule for Durham at the moment.
Yeah, there's definitely a fixture secretary who's got a sense of humour, and it's tough, but you've got to do it and you crack on.
How do you keep the boys fresh, bearing in mind all the long journeys that they're having to take on before they play week in, week out?
To be honest, it's hard to plan for that, really. You just got to make it as easy as possible for them in terms of the trip, in terms of the travel, in terms of making sure they're, plenty of rest, nutrition, and try and balance your training sessions a little bit, I think.
Well, you've mentioned in the past you've got a bit more depth this year, and one player you're welcoming back is Charlie Wilson. I think he's a great player. What does he bring to the party?
Charlie just brings what you would expect from a guy who's playing at that level. He brings some savvy, he brings some smartness there, he plays honest, and he plays very simple, which I like.
You had a terrific start to the season. You've stumbled a little bit in the last few weeks. Is this a time when it really tests the mettle and the character of your side with 2 losses in a row?
Oh yeah, make no bones about it, it's a big game. We need to get back on the road if we're going to stay in the hunt. We're still in the mix, so yeah, we did start well. There's no reason why our guys, we just need to get a bit of consistency back, and if we get that back, we can play.
Will we see you employing the similar tactics that you employed at the Rock when you beat Bath in your first game of the season?
Well, I think they're 2 completely different sides now, in the sense that we're 2 months into the programme. I'd like to think we could play in any areas we want to play, so when we played at the Rock, I think we played a bit of everything. We played some fairly fluid rugby. We'd certainly be trying to play that. I think they're trying to play more fluid than last time, so it should be a good match.
I agree, should be a cracker. Cheers, Alex, and all the best.
So there you have it from Alex Key, straight from the horse's mouth. This is a must-win game, make no bones about it. And looking at Bath's recent results, they should be favourites after that fabulous 4-game winning streak in the middle, which was ground to a halt by Cardiff Met last week. However, Durham earlier in the season for their big game at Rosslyn Park in London took the spoils, 30 points to 24. So revenge will be on the lips of the brothers this evening. Looking at Durham's results, they got off to a flyer. That win against Bath prompted a 3-game winning streak brought to a halt by Hartpury. They fought back with another resounding victory against their purple rivals Loughborough, but then things have been looking bleak after they let a victory slip from their hands down at Kincoid against Cardiff Met. Hartpury once again humbled them in round 8 last week. So a must-win game, no doubt about it, Max Senior.
Yeah, it's set to be a close one, this, I think, when you look at their previous games. So yeah, hold tight.
Ready for the teams, mate.
So looking at the teams, Aaron James and debuts to 2 young charges in the back line. Will Stride has big shoes to fill, coming in for injured star fullback Will Partington, while Hong Kong Sevens international Paul Altier's inclusion means top scorer Hugo Stiles starts at 10 for the first time, having already featured in the 15, 14 and 11 jersey this term. He also leads the team in captain Tom Doughty's absence. Beck Cutting is the man who will hook in his absence, but with a final appearance for England in their under-20s World Championship final, top try scorer Doughty's absence shouldn't be felt too keenly. The front row will be powered by new second row pairing of Kaz Illman and Jordan Martin, supported by the big ball carrying 8, James Catlin. Such is the embarrassment of back row riches. Alex Key is afforded the luxury of starting tonight's match with strike flanker Chris Johnson on the bench, but the quality is hardly diminished, with the decorated pair of Ben Foles and Josh Basham providing the power and Fitz Harding the speed and guile. Colin Markin captains from the second row, and all 8 forwards will be motivated by scrum half Jacob Collin, who's impressed all season. He'll also be charged with releasing Durham's potent backline, directed by Paddy McJewell, with the try-scoring prowess of Rawston Rudd and Melvin Farr to call upon. Watch out for the returning Falcon, Charlie Wilson, who brings a touch of class to the centres. The team's beginning to trot out already, meaning it looks like we are going to be bang on time for our 6:30 kickoff, with the whistle in the mouth of Jon Davies this evening. Bath out in their traditional garb of blue with gold hoops up against the iconic Palatinate of Durham. Now, Max, were you at the game at the Rock? Where was it that Bath lost it? Where was it that Durham won it?
Unfortunately, I wasn't up at Roslyn Park, but I did watch it on the live stream. It was a really, really close game. I think just our sort of composure let us down, and it was that same old thing that kind of got us last year, which was a little too late sort of thing. But we put in a good second half performance to bring it back, but didn't quite get there.
So this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti, is about to get underway. The ball in Hugo Styles' hands, captaining Bath for the first time, and he sends it high and long into the Durham 22, where Melvin Farr exits with ease, without much pressure on him, up to the halfway line, and will get a chance to test Beck Cutting's darts from the get-go.
Yeah, first set piece for Bath now, so they'll be looking for a strong phase here.
Well, it's stolen there by Durham. Henry Permain, who's formed a formidable second row pairing with his captain Colin Markham all season, getting his hands to the ball first, and we see Durham attack for the first time through that much vaunted back row I mentioned in the build-up. They burst the tackle early. Matt Welsh to McJewell, who puts it on the toe into the backfield, and McJewell's chasing his own kick. There's a spill from Bath, and Styles is there to clear up the mess, but it looks like it was a knock-on from McJewell in the process. But danger signs already for Bath.
Yeah, I think they caught us half asleep there. We need to wake up. Good few phases from Durham there. I think we got away with that one a bit.
Well, Paddy McJewell, of course, chipped in with 2 tries and a number of kicks in the victory against Bath that kicked off their season, a far more positive season than last year. And an evenly matched game until Durham really stretched ahead, resulting in that 30-24 win. But Bath 2 late tries and looking to steal the game in the very last play, throwing the ball forward eventually as James Catlin picks up from the base and makes some good yards. Fed Rimmer to feed Styles, who clears confidently up to the 10-metre line. He's got his long locks down this evening. Is that a stylistic take on the way he's going to play the game from 10 this evening, Max?
Yeah, no, I hope so. He likes to change his hairstyles, old Hugo. So he's repping the 70s mullet at the moment.
Yeah, very Starsky and Hutch from Hugo Styles as Durham's line out is stolen. So both teams are thrown one, lost one at the moment. And we see the ball in Bath's hands properly for the first time, and they go wide. Such has been their style this season, with Finn Murphy cutting inside, but finding the tackling to be up to the match. Rimmer finds Styles in the pocket, who clears it long into the middle of the field. Back there defending is Jack Headley. Melvin Farr on his shoulder does the clear out work. And it's a carry from Fitz Harding in the 6 jersey. Though Fitz Harding usually in a different scrum hat. Maybe Durham have done their old trick of switching their back row jerseys around as Hugo Styles begins to burst through the middle, and this boy is electric. He puts a kick in and he finds probably not the man he intended to. There was a chance for Paul Altier on debut to collect and score in the corner, but he fluffs his lines, Max.
Yeah, that would have been special, wouldn't it, to Hong Kong internationals out there. Hugo again showing his class. I mean, it was a great kick exit to begin with, followed up by a nice chase, and then exactly what, why he's in the team. Hugo's just got that extra bit of magic about him, and he's showing his class there.
Lethal in the open field, but distributing the ball from 10 this evening. Hugo Styles, watch out for him. Slicing one off the boot there and finding a different man as Durham lose the line out again, and Beck cutting now makes easy yards, and Barter on the front foot, chopped down by the Durham open side. And Cutting's in at scrum half, who picks and goes. They're keeping it tight, Bath. They've played an expansive brand throughout the season, but they stick it up their jumper here, and it's through the middle. They're probably, 3-4 yards away now. But the Durham defence holds resolute for the time being. It's another pick, short from the Bath forwards. The referee is indicating a penalty advantage. They are inches away. But the penalty is given. Durham resist, but this should be an easy 3 points to the brothers.
Yeah, you'd think so. Hugo's he's pretty good under. He's pretty good on with the tee, so yeah, I'm sure it will be. But yeah, a lot of hard work there from the forwards. It's quite wet out there, so they've holding onto it quite nicely. So yeah, showing their power.
So Hugo Styles with the chance to open Barter count for the evening in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. A similar position to the kick that he nervelessly slotted in the closing moments of their victory over Leeds Beckett at the Rec back in October. He brushes his 70s haircut to one side, eyes up the poles. And blasts it between the uprights, and it's Bath 3, Durham 0. 7 minutes gone in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti, and Bath will be pleased with that start.
Yeah, they'll be really pleased to draw first blood. I mean, you want to get the momentum going early. I think as I say, the start was a bit worrying for Bath, but they pulled it back pretty quickly.
As Durham kick long into the opposition 22, it's carried back and into the hands of Styles once again. He's been influential already this game as Beck Cutting shows goes, but is ultimately dragged down, followed by a fumble from Kaz Eelman, the master's student formerly of Exeter University, so he's no stranger to Bucks Super Rugby, albeit in different colours. Coming in for the injured duo of Angus Hinton and Adam Thresher. What can you tell me about this second row pairing, Max?
Yeah, as I said, this second row pairing have been together for a few weeks now. They weren't the initial, top runners, I don't think, but they've filled in really well for Adam Thresher and Angus Hinton, as you say, and they're doing a great job. But unlucky there, obviously the conditions are very wet, so they need a big scrum now.
Well, such is the attritional nature of this league. Squad depth is paramount if you want to make a real assault on the title. As we see the first scrum of the game, and it's a steady one from both eights. Pass from the base to McJewell, who steps and weaves, but he's brought down just in the 22 of Bath. Colin Markham, the captain, unmistakable in his red headgear, steals a few extra yards. And this time on to Jack Conte. Defence is good for Bath, who aren't committing a huge amount of numbers to the breakdown at the moment. Trying to pick their moments. But they don't release the tackle on that occasion. This is going to be an easy 3 points for Miles Rawstrand-Rudd to top up his tally of 32 points in this season's league. Durham have struggled for consistency from the tee. They're yet to pin their banner on one individual to slot goals for them, but Rawstrand-Rudd scored the most, 4 tries. He got one against Bath in the fixture we've mentioned numerous times at the Rock, and this is his chance to level things up. Struck through the uprights with ease. It's Bath University 3, Durham 3. 10 minutes gone in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. And also an opportunity for me to bring you a score update from Wales, where Cardiff currently lead Northumbria 22 points to 7. The lead was 17-0 at the break. Northumbria coming back with a 7-pointer, but Cardiff have just scored a breakaway try to once again puff their cushion to 15 points. And is that going to be the debut victory from the newly promoted men from Wales? They came close up in Northumbria just a couple of weeks ago. They need to maintain their focus and see out the full 80 and not get pipped at the post. With only about 20 minutes left remaining of that match, as Bath go straight off the top to the hands of Styles and Finn Murphy on the inside ball. They're cutting carries again. He's been working hard early in this first 11-12 minutes. As we see Bath keep it tight with big runners in the middle, and Styles goes to the boot. That's a definite miss kick in my eyes, Max, but he seems to have gotten away with it.
Yeah, as you said, I think he got away with that one. I don't think that was intended to go exactly where it went. Yeah, I think, to be honest, Durham will take a lot of confidence from that, their defence. You know, I think maybe we could have held on to the ball a bit better there. So I think Durham will take that as a bit of a compliment, to be honest.
Yes, unable to break down the Palatinate defence. They go to the toe. Stars gets a little bit lucky, but Durham now have the ball and they build a driving maul to eke some extra yards from this line out. And eke they are. Just walking it up to the 10-metre line before Collins says that's enough, and he feeds a big runner in the middle of the park. Markham. Collins finds McJewell, who puts up the Gary Owen in slippery conditions. Ed Rimmer struggles to deal with it, and Durham are on the front foot. Can they convert? Matt Welsh kicks the ball high. It's just beyond the 22, so no mark called. As Styles is clattered by 2 would-be defenders. And Bath go to Chris Barry to work their way out. Chris Barry taking a bit of a captaincy role among the forwards this evening. A try last week in a losing cause against Met. 2 for the season, and a bit of a hard man in the back row, am I right in saying, Max?
Yeah, Baz is a good mate of mine. You don't want to get on the wrong side of him. He's the sort of player that you want on your team. Really, really brilliant player, to be honest. Great over the ball. You know, crazy hard in defence. So he'll be, as I say, he'll be looking to lead these Bath men around the pitch tonight.
Well, no punishment dished out to the Durham defenders, who slid in there as Styles lost his footing. No foul play calls the rest, but it looks like McJewel has done himself a mischief down on the floor, and that could be a big loss for the Palatinate. As we take another look, it's the second time that Durham have gone over the top. They sense opportunity in the backfield with a new back three being put together by Bartha this evening. McJewel fell over the sliding body of Styles, just trying to figure out what he's done to himself. It looks like maybe a wrist or a shoulder, but we don't want to lose him. He can really weave magic from the 10 jersey. And it's a collision with his own player, actually, Max.
Yeah, that doesn't look nice, actually. I've had a fair share of shoulder injuries, and that looks like maybe like a slight sublux. He might have popped in, come straight back, popped out, gone straight back in. But hopefully he's all right, and we'll see him back on the pitch soon.
As Bath are let off the hook by some crossing from Durham, they win a penalty, and this will be going only one way. That is to the touchline for Bath to build another attack and try and cut loose from this 3-all deadlock that we have at the moment. As I'm hearing rumours of a red card in Cardiff. We don't know who and for which team, but with the score 22-7, it's going to bear some influence, as we saw in the Leeds Beckett game last week against Loughborough. Stan tried to send one over the top. He sails forward into touch, and it's a scrum for Bath. Now Bath, they were famous for their set piece over the last couple of years. They've found this more expansive, exciting, adventurous style this year. But the ABCs are important. They'll want to nail this line out.
Yeah, they'll definitely want to nail this. As I say, Mark Lilly is about as good a forward coach as you can get, so that has become a massive part of our game. But then at the same time, with Lewis Messer being in there as well, ex-player, offers a lot with the attacking side of it. So we're also capable of scoring some really nice tries as well.
Lewis Messer, formerly of the Cardiff Met setup, hopped across the bridge, now at Bath, having a big coaching influence here on the brothers as they find themselves on the 10-metre line. Beck cutting at first receiver, carrying once again, and Bath building the phases nicely. They're splintering the Durham defence. The line speed's lost a couple of yards of pace.
Number 8.
As Ed Rimmer sells a dummy, he finds Alex Nisbet, probably not looking for the ball. Ed Rimmer, who scored a sensational 50-metre try in their last televised fixture, the one at the Rec, the one that they squeaked from Leeds Beckett, with a last-minute kick from the man who's just pointed at the post, Hugo Styles. This should be 6-3, but the news from Cardiff is it is a red card for Cardiff University. So while they may have a 15-point lead, they'll be seeing the game out with 14 men. Is that Northumbria's chance to steal another victory from the men in red and rob them of their first win of the campaign? We'll keep you posted on that thrilling action down in the diff. But for the time being, all eyes are on Hugo Styles at the STV, who from right in front of the poles should be making this 6-3.
Thank you!
He turns away nonchalantly to tell you and me that it is Bath 6, Durham 3 in this Buck Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti, with a quarter of the match gone, Max.
Yeah, they'll be, as I say, Bath will be really pleased with that. Some good carries going in to put Hugo with a chance of going 3 points up, which he's done. So yeah, I think Bath will be pleased.
That's offside!
McJewell's replacement, Charlie Sporforth, takes over the kickoff duties, going long again. Sporforth involved in the England 7 setup, so maybe we'll see some wizardry from his feet. But how about this for a result? Cardiff University have bagged their first winning points of the campaign of their debut season in Bucks Super Rugby. 22 points to 14 over the Men in Black Northumbria, who finished second in last year's league, and are beginning to ask themselves some questions, having gone down to Exeter at home last week. And now coming a cropper in Cardiff. Congratulations to Cardiff, the win was due, they were pregnant for it, and they have duly delivered. As Bath go on the attack, up the blind side, Ed Rimmer spotted a bit of space, he squirms through the first tackle, but then he's bundled into touch across the whitewash. And a bit of opportunism from Ed Rimmer, we've seen that a lot from him this season.
Yeah, no, that's a good read from Ed there. Saw that there was no one really covering the blind side, so he's gone for it. I've been really impressed with Rimmer this year. He's had sort of big boots to fill this year. Wasn't involved that much last year due to injury, and yeah, he's come in and done a brilliant job. So I hope it continues.
The line out ticking on time for Durham now after a couple of misfires early in the game. Allows Jacob Collin to clear long with a fantastic box kick. It's no quick one from Finn Murphy. And we'll have a reset around about the halfway line. Beck Cutting, he's been very impressive so far in these opening salvos, set piece and in open play, Max.
Yeah, it's not a bad replacement for Tom Doughty, is it? Yeah, brilliant player, Beck. So again, he'll be offering a lot today, and I'm sure we might even see him get a meat pie later.
Well, commentators curse sees that line out, misfire, not go to plan, but Durham are unable to capitalise, and a knock on from their hooker Oscar Bowe leads to a scrum to Bath. Max, you were going to say something.
Yeah, no, I was. I should probably take that back. No, I'll be a bit disappointed with that. A few line-outs have gone astray, actually, from both teams. Obviously shows that the weather's wet, but again, it's a non-negotiable that, yeah, they need to get right.
A non-negotiable indeed, but the scrums have been good. They've been solid from both sides. As you see, Ed Rimmer put it in remarkably straight for a scrum put in, and Bath are on the attack. Styles feeds it to Will Stride, the debutant. He has a nice show and go, feeds inside to Will Hughes, who just can't keep a hold of it, and Durham look to play out of their 22, but they're retreating at a rate of knots. The referee says he's had enough. As we take a look at that break, the first time we've seen Bath really go wide, Max.
Yeah, which is really nice to see. As I say, nice to see Will Strike get his hands on the ball early doors as well. Yeah, that was a matter of millimetres really. Hughesy coming in on the inside, which he does very often. He's very good at. Just didn't quite go to hand.
But Bath playing all the rugby in the right areas at the moment. They'll be happy to be up in the Palatinate half here in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. As if you could not see the Yoti symbol on our field of play, blending in beautifully with the Palatinate and blue. As we call on a scrum reset, the first reset of the game. For you, Max, if you were an away team coming down to the STV at Bath, as Durham are, how would you be approaching this game, and how would you reflect on the opening 20 minutes?
Well, obviously it's a long way to come down, isn't it? So that is a tough one in itself, but I guess you just have to treat it as every other game. Ultimately, it's a pitch. There's 15 men on each team, so I don't think they'll treat it too differently to as if they were playing at home. But again, there are, I guess, extra challenges that comes with playing away. In terms of the reflection of the sort of 25 minutes, I think it's been quite even, but I'd say the last 5 minutes especially, Bath have started to pull a few more strings, and they've looked slightly more dominant, but it's very close.
Close indeed, but a fumble from Charlie Sporforth, not helped by a little bit of a weak pass from his 9. Jacob Collin gives Bath a terrific attacking platform just right of centre field in the Durham 22. If they can keep it solid, are we going to see the backs shine like they have done so brightly all season? They go through the centre channels. Rimmer marshalling, quick to the breakdown, wanting the ball early, calling the shots as we see a short carry from Chris Barry. Again, Bath pick and go. They're keeping it tight. They're conscious of these greasy conditions. Not held in the tackle. He goes for another bite, but he's brought down. Chris Barry with his hands on the ball again. Bath inches away at the moment. They're very composed, travelling in packs, but they give a penalty away. They go off their feet with their enthusiasm to win the ball back. It was all looking very measured, very patient. But an indiscretion at the breakdown lets Durham off the hook, Max.
Yeah, Durham will be really pleased with that foe. As I say, they've done well there to keep Bath out. Look like we're going forward and gaining some real momentum. But yeah, again, just a lack of composure from the pack, really. Yeah, I'm sure they'll work on it.
Well, Bath will be looking to convert some of this pressure that they've had in this opening 25 minutes. They're not going to be able to spend the whole game in the Durham half. So to lead only by 3, Bath will probably be disappointed as Durham build a driving maul to exit their territory. Once again, they're stopped in their tracks by the Bath pack. The Jacob Collins goes, steps inside, brought down. And there's a bit of life in Durham now. Until they're turned over. The Sparky 9 found himself a bit isolated. And his opposite number of all people, Ed Rimmer, found himself clamped over the ball to win a penalty. And Styles shapes for the touchline. And are we going to see Bath's very own driving maul attacking Durham? That's a great kick from Styles. A lot of ambition in that kick. And from 10 metres out, will we see a drive here, Max?
Yeah, no, you'll definitely see a drive, I think. It's become a bit of a weapon for us recently. Well, I'd say recently, the last few years, really, since Mark Lilly's come here. And yeah, hopefully we'll get over the line.
Oh yeah, we love that.
Durham defending this maul, but Bath are on the charge. Beck Cutting's got it in control of the back. The position where Tom Doughty usually likes to feast upon himself. Will his replacement hooker be squirming across the line? But what a response from Durham, who begin to win the battle. And that is a huge moment. It looks for all money that the brothers were going to be rumbling across the line, but Durham found a second win. And what a defensive set from the Palatinate.
Yeah, I thought Beck was going over for that meat pie that I mentioned earlier then. Yeah, disappointing that. Started off really well, and yeah, Durham will be massively pleased with that.
Well, it was 5 Bath forwards against only Oscar Bowe for a moment, and he held the fort while the rest of his pack ran round the back, came steaming in, disintegrated the Bath effort, and they've won a crucial scrum, but still under pressure on their own 5-metre line.
Bind! Set!
Again, the scrum holds.
Use it!
Durham carry from the back, impressively so, through Ben Foles. Missing for the last game in the starting lineup. In for Johnston, showing his worth from the base. As Collins boxes clear into the night sky. And Bath will counter. Everything's going through Styles at the moment, but a missed kick sees him charge down and then fumbles when the ball spills him, and Durham are in transition. The ball's gone backwards, and so do the Durham would-be attackers at the moment. Markham battered back with a two-man tackle.
Always going backwards and no advantage.
The referee quite rightly identifies there's only one direction that Durham team were going in, and he pulls it back for the fumble by Styles after the charge down. Styles looking to pin the corner there by the looks of things.
Yeah, as I say, he was unlucky there, Stylesy, but he produces some magic, but then obviously, a slight, mistake there. But nothing too big. I'm sure he'll crack on and smash the next one.
Hugo Styles is mercurial as his haircuts at the moment. We've seen a glimpse of him in the open field that nearly set up the opening try. We've also seen a couple of control touches not quite go to plan.
Ollie, wrong side, mate.
As we take a look at the Bath bench there, what is the sort of firepower that the brothers are offering from the Pine?
Yeah, there's a lot of a really strong bench actually. Obviously you've got the likes of Austin Hayes, really experienced player, offers a lot of power. He's also a big leader in the team actually, so I think he'll come on and play his part soon.
As Durham win the free kick and they go to the right, looking to play the ball. Strong carry down that right flank. They continue to pepper and they find a bit of space with Jack Headley. He bursts into the 22. This is good from Durham. Can they keep the continuity? It looks to be an offload, but he decides to hold on to it. A high pass to an on-rushing Jack Conte forces another error, and Bath, it's their turn to counter. The referee's playing advantage, but none will come. These greasy, slippery conditions aren't doing the handling of either side many favours at the moment.
No, they're not, but it was a good defensive read from the Bath boys. They got up nice and quickly, that blitz defence to force the error.
There we go,
We come to another scrum. We've seen quite a bit of set piece play here this half, caused by these handling errors. It really is a greasy one out there this evening. The last scrum resulting in a free kick to Durham, so a chance for Bath to get back on track.
You control what you can control.
Yes, the ref has a word with both front rows.
Yeah, I think Bath will just be looking here for a good exit really, and try and win that territory battle.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Rimmer feeds to Styles and Bath run it. Slips out the back under pressure from the tackle, and Durham have the ball back through Matt Welsh. Headley takes another run. That's two in the last 2 minutes. Beginning to bring himself into the game as Oscar Bowe, the man who held up the Bath drive moments ago on the 5-metre line, has a charge. Markham sides down. Sporforth, the substitute 10, goes, good strength and steals some more yards. Conte again. Fitz Harding this time. Bowe on the switch from Sporforth. They're keeping the ball well, but they're not making much progress at the moment, Durham. Credit to the Bath defence. Beck Cutting being somewhat of a nuisance at the breakdown. Bath find a softer shoulder that time to advance a couple of yards. Sporforth puts it on the toe. Wilson's in pursuit. The ball goes free. The referee spotted an infringement. Penalty for offside.
The scrum cap is the mark. Is the mark right? Sevens offside.
Barry the culprit,
I believe so. Yeah, that is
under
right, isn't it,
pressure from concerted, coordinated
6-3 the Bath, right?
attack from Durham that was
Guys,
beginning to bear
options
fruit.
Yeah, a small period of dominance there for Durham. Jacob Collins, the 9, leading them all out, leading them around the park really nicely as he did in the previous fixture, which got a man of the match. So yeah, he's doing a good job at leading his men around the park.
I got 8 minutes to come.
Rawston Rudd wastes no time at all as you hear from the ref mic. 8 minutes to go of this half. The two teams locked at 6 points apiece in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture brought to you by Yoti. Rawston Rudd looking effortless as he just careers back, having doubled his tally for the evening. And that's a good return for a Durham side who've been under pressure for most of the half. As Stars kicks us off again, long into the Durham 22. Melvin Farr feeds his fellow back 3 member Jack Headley.
Off it now! No, off it.
He's beginning to grow into the game more and more tonight.
Use it, Durham.
Yes! Yes!
Advantage 5's in the side.
As Bath give away a penalty just as Durham were told to use it. Aaron James spoke of the ill discipline of the brothers and how it had been hampering them this season. And there again we see an unnecessary penalty, Max. You're spewing about that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, AJ will be screaming somewhere. Something just unnecessary, totally unnecessary. So that'll be something that they look at half time.
Durham send it just beyond the halfway line as we see 8 diehards in the background on the terraces there.
Yeah, big turnout for the brothers tonight.
You don't often see 1 steward to 8 fans, but you do down here at the STV in an orange t-shirt.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out tonight, that's for sure.
With a bucket out collecting for charity as well. What a champion as Durham builds. They've got momentum, the nudge is on, looks like it was in at the side there to me from Kieran Verdon. Yellow carded last week, he's given away a penalty just now. Will it be more? But they need to think about stopping Durham first.
6.
The referee calls number 6, Jack Kennington, for collapsing. Jack Kennington, a name I was anticipating saying a little bit more. He has been in red hot form for Bath this season, but quite quiet so far.
Yeah, I think Jack's a quality player. Don't know Jack that well. He's a first year, but he's a product of Harlequins Academy, and he's really showed his class this year. I mean, as a young lad to come up and step up, but you know, this level's really, pretty amazing, and he's been a key member of that back row.
Well, 18 years old, a product of the Quins Academy, a try last week versus Met, and a try on the big stage against Leeds Beckett at the Rec. So he knows how to perform when the heat is on, but he needs to perform defensively first and foremost, because Durham have got the ball to the back, 8 men shoving and more cavalry coming, though they've been halted initially. It's been transferred, and this looks like it's going to be going all the way, but the ball slips.
I think Bath forgot that.
And Bath have managed to hold it up. It looked to wriggle, to squirm from the grasp of the Durham player who had it at the back. The big number 5, Henry Permain. If we look just here, they begin to rumble over the line. The ball squirms out.
I think it was Jack as well, who kept them going over. I mean, they'll be pleased, to hold them out there, but they've got to do it again now.
They certainly do. A pivotal point in this first 40 minutes down here at the STV in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. Durham's most promising attacking position of the half. They've gritted it out defensively in their own 22. Can they enjoy themselves a little bit now with the ball in hand as Collins feeds straight And he finds his inside centre, who's on a short line and cannot be stopped. Charlie Wilson, the returning Falcon, has Durham flying high on the stroke of half-time. As the score reads, Bath 6, Durham 11, with a kick to come and a minute to go.
Yeah, strong run there. It was a bit too easy, I think, for the Durham boys there. Bath kind of not strong enough in defence there.
Bath will be very disappointed with this tackling. It was so direct, it was so obvious. He runs over Styles, and then Nisbet can't drag him down in time before Wilson crosses the paint and announces his return to this Durham side. Rawstron, Rudd, Julie adds the extras, and it's Bath 6, Durham 13. As we watch the replay once again, one that Hugo Styles won't want to watch too many times, as he was trampled over en route to the line. And Bath, for all their possession, all their territory, find themselves trailing. And this is going to be approaching the final play of the half, collected by Melvin Farr, who kicks long to the Bath back three, and Styles looking to make amends. Kicks, but he's charged down again. He collects with his team under the cosh. And they carry, they keep it tight. They're a team under pressure at the moment, Max.
Yeah, I think Bath just need to hold on to the ball now. Hold on to the ball, run the 30 seconds down and get the ball off the pitch. Getting to the change rooms and regroup.
Well, they're going to have to fend off a Durham counter-attack before any regrouping happens, because it's in the hands of Sportfort, the substitute. And Durham are playing ball here. They sense an opportunity with Bath somewhat rattled. But that's mean defence in the middle as they probe left. Matt Welsh finds a ball inside to the scorer, Charlie Wilson. Collins passes, it's slapped down. Is that going to be a yellow? Is that going to compound Bath's woes before we head to the sheds? Durham are going to see their attack out first. Sportfort bursts through once again. He sends the ball long and right, but he misses his marker. And now Finn Murphy, the Irish 7 specialist, attacks. And this is some finish to the half. As advantage had been played, the referee blows up for what looks to be a head injury to Beck Cutting. And with the advantage played, Bath on the attack, is the ref going to disregard the knockdown earlier in the play, and are Bath going to get away with it?
Yeah, what a chance there for Durham. I think they'll be really disappointed not to finish that one off. As we've just seen, I think it looks like a clash of heads there between the Durham player and Beck Cutting, so it might be an early appearance for James Hatfield, who's on the bench.
I know what you're saying, but it's a good chance.
Sportfort is really impressed since coming on for the injured Paddy McJewell. We see him burst through 2 big front row tackles, and he had Henry Pearmain on his right, Jacob Collins to the left. He chose to go for the high risk ball to Fitz Harding when Pearmain was begging for it on his shoulder. Was that the right decision?
Yeah, it's an opportunity gone missing there for Durham. It also looks like it was actually 2 Bath boys who clashed heads.
So 2 Bath boys in the tackle, one of them Beck Cutting, who heads to the sideline with an exploded nose. He's been one of the shining lights in the brothers' first half that miraculously sees them trail by 7 points. They want to patch him up in the half-time break, but primarily I think they want to get the ball out and, as you said, head in and regroup. So a scrum to negotiate in between the 10 and the halfway. Rimmer feeds it in. The scrum has been excellent from both sides this evening. Passes wide, and still Bath want to play. but Melvin Farr does not. He puts the laces through it, and we head to the half-time break with the away side leading. It is Bath 6, Durham 13 in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you live from the STV. And an interesting half of rugby, somewhat of a chess match, with the castling of Hugo Stars by Charlie Wilson being the key difference.
Yeah, as I say, a few moments of magic from Hugo, but at the same time a few moments of madness. I think we just need to regroup, gain some composure, and come out second half firing.
Well, one try from the half. We'll take another look at it. The set piece, as I keep reiterating, has been excellent from both sides. Durham got a tiny nudge on, which stopped the back row from breaking early. It was a ball straight to Charlie Wilson, simple as you like. And he barreled his way over the line. As we see from the other angle, Bath a bit tentative in their line speed coming up to make the hit. There's not much more you can say that it was too easy for the Palatinate.
Yeah, exactly. When you're that close, when you're that far out, Durham, Bath need to be looking for a positive hit there, and they haven't found it. And yeah, it's been quite easy there for Durham. Crashed over.
So nip and tuck here at the STV for Bath versus Durham, and an opportunity for us to hear from our sponsors.
Because I had already set up from the app about 3 months ago, actually, when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around all night now, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and quite versatile as well.
A miserly first half with regards to tries down here in Somerset, but we wouldn't rob you of a try fest any week. So here are the best from last round.
Putting some depth on it as Northumbria really want to wind it up. Here's a little bit of space for Josh Hodge to run into. It's around the outside. And this will be a wonder try. And it is. 5 metres short, bang under the sticks. There is Ripper Smith, breaks through, and he's going to open the scoring. Fantastic line, under the sticks, 2 minutes gone. Carries in for Beckett, head down there from Stephen James, gets the offload away. Lovely stuff from Beckett, down to 5 metres short. Stephen James looks confident, they queue it up here. Over the ball, for the line, over the line. Lloyd has to dig for it. Oh, lovely hands. Venables, for the line, over the line. And it's a third score for Leeds Beckett.
If that doesn't make tries of the week, I don't know which sort of try would.
Some fabulous scores there from last week's action. And finished off with one from Toby Venner of Hartpury, who currently is top of the pops when it comes to BSR tries this season. He can't be stopped at the moment, and neither could either of these sides when they met earlier in the year. It launched Durham's season, and Bath came out second place, which is the position they find themselves at the moment, but maybe some of their try scores here can inspire them to a second half comeback.
Just joining us, the early score coming off the boot of Tom Catterick. He's 1 from 2. This one's gone long again, it's an overthrow. Again, it's been snaffled by Bath, but that's been knocked forward. Now will broken play benefit the home team? Suggestion of a high tackle. I think the referee's playing advantage here. Yes, he is. So a free shot at it here for Durham. Parmain into the 22. It's Markham hanging around. Little dab through to chase. It could be on here. And it is! Miles Rawston-Rudd chases the kick. He's had a great 15 minutes. And he's capped it off with a 5-pointer. Durham 8, Bath 0.
As I said, play in the right area of the pitch, and then obviously play from there.
This has been intercepted as well. Paddy McJewell for the corner. It's 2 tries in 2 minutes, and Durham are in complete control.
Well, look at that then. Bit of pressure from the box kick, and then obviously pounce on a drop ball, and Paddy there backs up a good kick on the first try, and he can dot down one from his own.
Try's been awarded by the referee. Finally an opportunity for Bath. And it is Jack Davis making up for that error with his first try of the season. Durham 17, Bath 5. Working very well here. Very well indeed. Ben Foles is out of the action. And Bath within 5 metres.
Penalty advantage, side entry.
Well, there's a penalty advantage coming, but it won't matter. It won't matter at all. Bath 2 scores in quick succession. Lovely break there from Johnston. Score a good try if you give him the chance to. McJewell for his second. Magical footwork from the outside half. That is absolutely splendid. It was a lovely support line from Chris Johnston, stuck on the shoulder. McJewell gave the Bath defence the eyes, and by the time they realised he was gone, it was too late. Durham 22, Bath 14, and that's a special finish from the standoff.
Yeah, big change in the tide now, because obviously Bath had the upper hand in the last 5 to 10 minutes, and now with Chris Johnston's mini break and then Paddy to finish it. Great finish.
Just keep your eye on that clock, because it's 8 minutes till you need to pick a man of the match. Jacob Collin feeds and everyone else waits. Some not particularly steady footwork there from 8, but could that open it up here? Here's Ben Stevenson over the 10-metre line, looks inside, backs himself, and that's a good covering tackle from Partington. Numbers arrive. Welsh goes on his own, he's through! And Matt Welsh takes Durham up to 30. Well, we've spoken so much about Miles Rawston-Rudd, but Matt Welsh has had a great game in the 13 jersey, and is that the score that puts this one out of sight for Durham? It guarantees the bonus point. It's Durham 30, Bath 17.
Well, if you look at the replay, it's great set piece play off first phase, getting to Ben Stevenson, the wheels on the outside. Try backs himself, and then Matt Welsh makes the read, as we can see here.
Well, it was scrappy at the back of the scrum. A lovely pass there to put Stevenson into space. Quick hands from Welsh. Who's the first one there? Charlie Wilson. No one on the blind side here.
It's a great read from Matt Welsh.
The guilty party there. Big second row substitute. Talked about building the culture, talked about wiping the slate clean. This has been a fantastic start.
Yeah, obviously don't speak too soon, but it has been a great start.
Here come Bath. This could set up a grandstand finish. This is where they have the action. Keep your eye on Arthur Cornwell, number 17. He's there at the back, adding his weight. Penalty try. 30-24, the referee goes under the sticks.
Number 20. Number 20.
Josh Basham, the guilty party. He's being called over by the referee here, Josh Basham. Oh, goodness me, Durham are going to end this match with 13 on the park. Well, Durham currently down to 12 players as somebody's getting medical attention as well. Oh, this would be heartbreak for Durham. Surely that's gone forward. Is that 80 minutes? Yes, it is. Durham hold on. 30-24, the full-time score. Bucks Super Rugby, presented by Yoti, gives us another thriller.
Footage of Bath falling just 6 points short in the game up at the Rock against Durham earlier in the season. Well, they trail by 7 at the half-time break here at the STV. And it's a deficit they'll want to overturn, but they'll be without the man you just saw on screen there, Captain Tom Doughty, who's contributed 5 already this season. They'll be looking for inspiration elsewhere and certainly tries in a half that they had opportunities. But if you're in search of tries, well, look no further than here on a Wednesday and Friday night, because these are the matches coming up live. Next week, it's Leeds Beckett versus top of the table Exeter. Leeds Beckett desperate for a win, and Exeter really grinding into 5th gear at the moment. It's a double header next week because we'll be then up at Northumbria for their match against Loughborough. After that, Trent welcome Durham, who we're watching tonight, and then there is a very Welsh flavour to close things out till Christmas with the Cardiff derby. Cardiff met against Cardiff at the Arms Park, finishing up with a trip to champions Hartpury, who again welcome Cardiff Uni, who are probably busy celebrating their first win of the campaign that they picked up against Northumbria this evening. There was a red card in there for them, but a 22-14 scoreline is all they care about at this moment. They've got the monkey off their back. We predicted that they would do before Christmas, and it's all ahead of them. Getting that first win is going to be all important for Cardiff, isn't it, Max?
Yeah, absolutely massive. The boys will be absolutely buzzing with that. I actually know a few of the boys from Cardiff, so yeah, they'll certainly be revving it up in the diff tonight.
Revving it up in the diff. What a terrifying prospect, ladies and gentlemen, but a fun one as well, as Durham eventually make their way out from the sheds, and we're just about set to get this crucial 40 minutes underway. It was a Charlie Wilson try in the final 5 minutes of the first half of this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. That has proven to be the difference. Both kickers are on 100%. We've got a new 10 pulling the strings for Durham, and how he is impressed. Sporforth with the ball in his hand, the Palatinate to kick us off. And here we go. Terrific chase and tackle, forcing a knock on early from the brothers. James Catlin, that looked like it was, who isn't wearing number 1 as it says on our screen down below. He's in the 8 jersey. So big is James Catlin, they've had to find a larger jersey for him. Am I right in saying, Max?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Katz is a bit of a veteran of this team now as well. He's actually the same age as me, so he's always been that size, I think, since about 16.
Goodness me. A big mouth to feed from a young age, but a knock on from him has given Durham primo platform to see if they can start this half with some points. Charlie Wilson takes another carry, he takes some stopping again. There's a fumble from Matt Welsh, but he keeps on driving those legs, and they're to within 3 metres. Who finds Henry Permain? And what a dream start for Durham. Bath caught napping again. The defence weak on the first hit. And the Palatinate are the beneficiaries, with Henry Parmain charging across the line after Matt Welch couldn't be stopped. Look at him here, bumping his legs. Eventually Catlin brings him down, and then there's a multitude of runners for Collins to aim at, but it's Parmain, the Quins under-18 Academy product, who treats himself to his third try of Bucks Super Rugby 2019.
Yeah, some strong carries there from Durham. Come out really energised, carrying with intent. Bath will be disappointed with that. It's about the worst possible start they could have made to the second half. So hopefully we'll again regroup from this kick-off and get back down there and get one of our own.
Rawstronrud slides the ball just inside the right hand upright. He maintains his 100% record, and he stretches this Durham lead to a daunting one of 14 points. It's Bath 6, Durham 20 in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. The perfect start to the second period from Durham, and Bath chasing this game.
Time to run. You're closer, mate, because of the wind. Back. Thank you.
Collins' box is clear.
Yeah, he hasn't made much distance of that, but as I say, he'll be happy to get off the park.
Say that again. 9, change.
Great attacking platform now for Bath as well, so they'll be excited to get their hands back on the ball.
Well, as we can see from the 16 jersey, James Hadfield looks to have taken the field of play to replace Bet Cutting, who was pouring blood just before the half-time whistle. He's going to be a massive loss. Tom Doughty, the captain, usually in the 2 jersey. Bet Cutting, the England 20, stepping in, and now James Hadfield at the hockey throwing the darts, but he hits double top straight away. And now he's at the back of the drive. As Colin Marker makes a real nuisance of himself, and Bath go to the deck. You can see a score update in the bottom left corner of your screen. Loughborough 7, Cardiff Met 7, even Stevens in the East Midlands after Cardiff Met went ahead early. The African Violets have equalised, and it will take Bath University 2 converted scores to equalise with Durham now after that brisk start. But Jack Kenningham's leading the way, crawling the way. Hugo Styles spreads the ball wide. Some wonderful footwork from Will Hughes, almost breaks 3.
Yeah, that's where we're going to be good, in those outside channels, looking for people like Hughesy.
Styles pirouettes out of the tackle, gains 5 yards. They're 15 metres out. Kenningham again into the play. Replacement scrum half George Wootton goes wide. It's quick hands. They find space, and oh, what physicality!
Sorry, gents, I didn't see you there. Touch.
As Paul Altier on debut blasts the Durham defender out of the way, but it looks like he's put a tiptoe in touch, and he's been robbed of a score on debut. Let's take another look at this. Boom! Miles Rawstronrud, well, he's been pure from the tee, but he's absolutely seen off in that challenge from Paul Altier, but not before he went into touch. And that would have been the perfect tonic for this Durham onslaught, wouldn't it, Max?
Yeah, it would have been a perfect response. I think I celebrated a bit too early there.
Thank you, that's really good work. Good evening. 5 minutes, 35.
A stoppage in play for the Durham captain Colin Markham, but he's up on his feet. He's made of stern stuff, the Llandudfri man, and he's called into duty to lift Ben Foles right away, who neatly pouches the line out. But Bath drive Durham back in the initial shunt.
Use it!
As Collins is told to use it. And Fitzharding carries and crawls, steals another yard. Bath almost charge early, but the referee lets it go. It's box clear. But Bath, this is the part of the field they want to be playing in. This is the kind of rugby that we're going to want to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Complicated line out confuses everybody, including the Bath team. It turned into a one-man lift. The ball was thrown wonkily. But the referee's accusing Durham of closing the gap, so Bath will get another crack at this. Fortuitously, maybe, as we see Austin Hayes entered the fray, lifting at number 1. He sets the line. And a wonderful shot there from our cameras. Poetry in motion, watching the movement, the flow of the line out before the ref calls a penalty.
Right, tell me what the call is, please. Half-pipe purple 7. Right, I agree. Lads, there's obstruction of the line out, but number 7's offside. There's a penalty to blue. Give me the mark, please.
The referee calls an infringement against Durham's number 7, Fitzharding. And Styles plumps for the corner. But he skewed that to the left, straight beyond the dead ball line. He's not having a vintage day with the boot at the moment, Max.
No, that's an uncharacteristic error there from Hugo, and he'll be disappointed with that. But he'll hold his hand up and he'll make amends, I'm sure.
A couple of charge downs for Hugo Styles in the first half. Skewed that wonderful opportunity to pin Durham into the corner and put Bath's driving line out to use. As it is, scrum Durham on their 22. Collins to put in.
Use it!
And it's clear. Wilson again carries well. Powerful, flight-footed, and that's another wonderful bit of invention from Sportford.
Not backwards, play on.
He loses the ball in contact, it goes backwards, but Bath are the first to get hands on it. And their transition opportunity is dealt with muscularly by the Durham defence. Ben Foles, one of the two men in the contact, and it's a line out to Durham. Just beyond the halfway line. Quite a bitty period of the game. A lot of turnovers, a lot of set piece. Bath are going to want to get more phases, Max.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a bit scrappy, recently, but Sportford with a brilliant kick there to see space in behind. But Bath have a platform to go from now.
They certainly do, as the overthrow goes right into blue and gold hands, and the ball is spread wide. But Bath force it.
Touched. Okay.
Out the back door from substitute George Wotton. Straight into touch. That'll be a line out in exactly the same position, but mirrored onto the other side of the field. And can Durham get this right and build a few phases themselves? 14 points their lead at the moment. 2 tries in the bag. They'll be thinking about bonus points, but primarily they want this win. Coming off the back of 2 losses, edged out at Kincoid against Cardiff Met, dismantled by Harbury at Gilman's ground. They've got to be in their bonnet, a point to prove, and their driving maul has been such a feature throughout this game. They weaponise it once more before looking to the backs, and there's a little bit of a gap on the inside which Rauschenrud nearly steps through before Markham carries. Sportthorpe calls to the ball. He shows, goes. He's been electric since he's got on. Slippery as an eel. But they carry once more. Foles this time. We've seen him in defence. Now we see him in attack. A powerful latch from Josh Basham propels his teammate through the gap.
Yeah, throwing off Will Hughes there, which isn't easy to do, let me tell you.
A missed ball. It's a show and go from Henry Parmain. The winger buys it and he crashes over for his second of the game. Durham's third of the game, his second of the half. And a killer blow for Bath University.
Yeah, a lot of dominance being shown from Durham, going through the phases really nicely and just carrying with intent, and they've got their reward.
The play was patient, the play was powerful. They switched the direction back to the right. It went to Sporforth, who had the vision to put it over the top. Parmain sells the dummy, wrong foots Finn Murphy, and it's an easy score in the end. He was wrong-footed and then didn't have his balance to put the hit on, and Parmain was too big to wrestle out into touch. And Durham are looking at heading into the lead, 27-6, if Rawston Rudd can maintain his 100% accuracy. And he does with style. As we see a replay here, Max.
Yeah, as you say, they've done well. They've switched the play back to the right-hand side, and then there's just a bit of a mismatch, you know, on this touchline with, you know, Finn and a second row, 2 meters out. There's only really going to be one winner there.
So Bath University staring down the barrel of a 6-27 deficit against Durham in this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. 53 minutes gone. They only trailed by 7 points at the break, but Durham have flown out of the traps in this second period and been utterly clinical to lead by 19. 3 tries in the bag, bonus points on the mind. But Bath immediately with a scrum in the Durham 22, and they have to get points here.
Yeah, they do, and I think it's probably the first time this season that Bath haven't got a try, you know, in the first 50 minutes, or maybe even the first half. So they need to take this opportunity now and get back on the points on the points board.
Free kick to Bath. Catlin wins some yards.
Put your hands down.
Austin Hay steps out, feeds Jordan Martin. Here we go, Styles on the ball. He weaves, but he's snared by 2 Palatinate defenders. And this is better from Bath. They're beginning to find gaps. A lot more runners offering themselves. It's difficult for Durham to pick them as Chris Barry takes them to within 4 meters. Another short pick. The forwards cluster around the ball. They smell blood 3 meters out.
Yeah, Bath just want to be patient here and stay composed, and hopefully a gap emerges.
2 meters out, meter by meter. Bath don't care how they do it so long as they come up with paint on their jersey. As Austin Hay has a crack. Durham surely not rolling away. The referee agrees, sends his arm into the sky, and it is a yellow card. The discipline by and large in the game has been good, but in the red zone with the line begging, the referee is emphatic and banishes a Durham player to the bin. 14 men they'll play with.
Yeah, Jacob Collin to the bin there.
Linchpin,
lying over
Jacob
the ball.
Collin. The man dismissed. Sorry, Max, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. I thought I saw his header in the bottom of the ruck. So yeah, just killing the ball there, not allowing Bath the opportunity to get quick ballers, which is obviously what they want to do.
Just continuing to roll with the ball.
Not often you find a scrum half at the bottom of a ruck in a defensive frame of mind, usually burrowing for the ball greedily to try and nip across the line when he's 5 metres out from the Oppo try line.
Okay.
Yeah, no, fair play to him.
5. Time on. Let's go. Here's the mark.
The wisdom of Tom Cattrick being dished out to the Durham players there on a water break. Tom Cattrick with over 100 points for the Newcastle Falcons in his professional career, now in his second year of studying at Durham University, playing a coaching role this evening, not down on the team sheet.
Okay, gentlemen.
As Freddie Davies enters the fray for the away team. Oscar Bowe had a number of nice carries in the first half, so if Freddie Davies can match his energy, it'll be a good night at the office for him. But first things first, keep this scrum steady with Bath on the prowl for their opening try and the score that's going to get them back into the game. As Catlin picks, he almost bursts free, but he's dragged down by his bootlaces. Bath go again, Durham defending staunchly. Chris Barry, he's held up. We go back for another scrum 5. This is the yellow card incident. We see Collins on the left of the screen. He's battling to get back. He's sniffing around the danger. And then
14's over there.
Well, he's not doing too much wrong there. He's probably clambering in the wrong places slightly. Maybe this is his interjection. Yes, Jacob Collin, you're not allowed to lie on top of the opposition player and try and rip the ball when you're squirming on the floor. He makes an easy decision for the referee, and that is the reason why Durham continue to defend with 14 players, and they will do for the next 8.5 minutes. Bath need to make this advantage count. Trailing by 21 points. Staring down a second consecutive BSR defeat after their run of 4 wins on the trot, only bettered by Hartbury, who sealed their 5th win in a row with a narrow 18-17 victory away at Leeds Beckett today. The other winners being Exeter, 33-10 over Trent, and of course that famous Cardiff win, 22-14 over Northumbria. But the ball is into the feet of the powerful Catlin, who's yo-yoed between this Buckside and the Bath A-League team. And Bath just cannot find a way through at the moment, but maybe they have now. No, they're half a metre short as they attack the post, and they find a way to squirm the ball across the line.
Yeah, I think James Hadfield's just gone over, which he'll be really pleased with. As I say, it's quite clever from Bath there, making their way towards the post, and obviously the rulings now is if you touch down on the pad, the referee awards a try. So it's quite clever there from the Bath pack.
Yes, a regular tactic we see now in the game, but do you know what? He didn't even need the pad. He managed to take the ball across the line despite Ben Foles' efforts. Hugo Styles smashes it through the uprights. That's 7 points. They trail by 14. Bath are back in the game with 7.5 minutes to try and exert some pressure from their 15 against Durham's 14.
Yeah, Bath really needed that one. They'll be pleased to get that, and hopefully they can get back into the game now and keep the momentum going.
So this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti, is back into the balance somewhat. Bath with a converted score with 21 minutes to go. Sporforth, the incredibly impressive Sporforth, kicks off and it slips through Bath hands, but fortunately there's another brother to collect, but it's spilt in the contact, and this is transition.
Man tackle and everything.
But it's stolen illegally. The tackler not releasing. And Bath with a cheap chance to send themselves into enemy territory, which Styles does with aplomb. He's been infallible from the tee. He has had a couple of ropey punts, but that one is one to chalk up in the pros column. Bath are on the 10-metre line, attacking line out, and they've got momentum. They go back to the moor, and a well-constructed one it is. Long, thin, mobile, the ball at the back with the try scorer, James Hadfield. Looking for a brace as they stop for the first time, but they get momentum back again. Styles slings it wide, great footwork. Oh, the opportunity was there to feed Ethan Hunt, who was bursting through the gap, but the ball doesn't go to hand and Durham respond.
Yeah, unlucky there. I don't think that the offload wasn't really necessary there. A great driving line out. Made about 25 metres there. Just a bit unlucky in the backs.
Oh, but the try scorer James Hadfield finds himself in open space with a fantastic interception before they go wide to the left. Will Hughes, we've seen him a fair bit. Hugo Styles offloads from the floor. Jordan Martin now, he's carried plenty in this half. And Bath have the wind in their sails. Kenningham takes the ball on another few metres, but that's static in the next play. Composure, patience. The ball's disrupted, but Bath hold on to it. Wootton's at the bottom there. Martin and Kenningham drive forward again.
On your feet, Bath. Good, that's better.
They continue to keep it tight. They continue to suck the purple defenders in before Barry shrugs a couple off. They get in behind the purple. And they're 5 metres out now.
Yeah, a really strong carry there from Baz again to make a few yards. Looking to go wide now, though.
Styles throws it over the top to feed his on-rushing winger of Paul Altier.
Okay, just come here, I can't hear you.
The Hong Kong connection, has it yielded the try that is going to get them back in the game? Or has the referee adjudged it to be forward? There was certainly a hint as Styles wound up.
Commentator's clear, so I was just about to say there's no chance of disallowing that one, but we're not sure yet.
I don't know that, I will ask. I'm off.
The referee calling time up. He's conferring with both touch judges. He understands the importance of this score in opening this game right back up.
2 minutes.
We see the big wind up from Hugo Styles. From that angle, it's difficult to call. It's not clear and obvious. We're not using TMOs here.
Yeah, it's 4 plus. Is this right for the mark? Ollie?
But the referee's made his mind up. It's going to be a scrum to the visitors.
You like being your life?
Ooh, what do you think of that, Max? You're wearing a Bath University rugby jacket, so I think I know the answer.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends if you're wearing blue or purple, doesn't it? Really. You look at it again. You know, there's a shout to say it could be marginally forward, but as I say, if I was the ref, I think I would have given that one.
Fortunately for the Durham fans tuning in and in the stands, you're not the ref, Max. So a scrum it will be very marginal call, but the referee has called it, conferred with his touch judges. We have a scrum. Durham still under pressure, and Bath looking excellent at the moment. Where has this play been for the last 62 minutes, Max?
Yeah, again, it's come a bit late, hasn't it? But hopefully not too late, because we've still got, 15 minutes to go or whatever. So hopefully we've still got enough time to get back into this match and pick up a win.
As we see the scrum go down for a reset, maybe for the first time in this game, the might of the packs being evenly matched. As we've got a score update from the Midlands as well. Loughborough leading Cardiff Met 17 points to 14. That would be a real feather in the cap of Loughborough, who have struggled so far this season, but they picked up that thrilling win that we covered live here on Bucks Super Rugby, brought to you by Yoti, against Leeds Beckett, and they're on for consecutive wins at the moment for Cardiff Met, who are a team in form, a team who put Bath away here at the STV last week. And Durham Bath looking to avoid the same fate again as they go on the counter. Alex Keys feeling like his players had their hands on the ball long enough to warrant a penalty for the turnover, but the all-important man with the whistle in the middle disagreeing with Alex there. Styles feeds it wide. James Hadfield, what an impact he's made so far. A try, an interception, and plenty of impacts out in open play at the moment. Did Styles lose that in the contact? Yes, he did. That's disappointing.
Yeah, okay.
And a relief for Durham, certainly, because they're really under pressure here.
Yeah, it wasn't a great exit from Durham originally. Will Stride took it well and fed it on. And yeah, again, some great carries going in from James Hadfield. It seems to be everywhere since he's come on. As I say, Bath seem to be blessed with pretty good hookers.
They sure do. A wealth of talented hookers, and props for that matter, as we see Sai Ngeng take the field, a first-year Academy Bath player. He has a twin who's knocking around campus as well, so don't be surprised if you see double Ngeng either side of these top quality hookers. They're breeding here at Bath at the moment in games to come. He's known for his destructive ball carrying and top scrummaging, but it goes down on his side there. Just struggling to get into the game, I guess.
It's 27 points to 13. That's the mark.
As Yoti bring you this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, it's Bath 13, Durham 27, 66 minutes gone. We've had 2 Bath tries disallowed this half, both Paul Altier efforts. He's crossed, he's dived, he's celebrated twice, he's been denied twice. Can they get the ball into his hands legitimately so that he can claw Bath back into this game? Max, what are the sort of conversations the brothers will be having out there?
Really, as I say, just trying to take their opportunities and get back into the match slowly. I mean, there are still 15 minutes to go, and tries can be scored in seconds. So really just managing the game. That will come from Wootton, who's now on at 9, and Hugo is at 10, and they've just got to lead the players around the pitch, really.
with the yellow card serve. Jacob Collin has the ball in his hands once again. He points out something that isn't to his taste at the scrum. The referee agrees, and it's a long arm into the air to signal a penalty for Durham, and a much needed penalty to send into touch and work their way up for a bit of Bath territory. They're in search of not just the win, but a bonus point try as well. They've taken no points from their last 2 games. Edged out at Kincoid, beaten handsomely at Gilman's grounds. They've got 4 in their hand at the moment. They're seeking a 5th, although Bath haven't given up yet.
I didn't think it was that. And is the blue sub made as well?
Nice, Barry!
The blue sub's made, okay, thank you.
Freddie Davies finds his man. Bath pull it down immediately. Davies on the charge now.
Use it!
Collin orchestrates the men behind him. Back pulling the string. Sporforth was in there temporarily. Here he is on the ball now. Every time he has taken it to the line, he's made yards. A really quality impact, brought in under injury circumstances for McJewell. And Wilson puts his head down again. But Bath are on that. It's that man once again, James Hadfield. An incredible impact from the hooker.
Yeah, great turnover there from James Hadfield. He's read it well, and an unbelievable touch find there from Hugo to put the boys in a really good position.
Stars isn't hanging around. He puts the ball long and high over Jack Headley's head. One bounce and it's into touch. There's an urgency about Bath now. We are entering the final 10 minutes, which is also going to signal shortly your nomination for Man of the Match, Max, by the way, so get your thinking cap on. But first, Hadfield launches the dart to his jumper and goes to his customary position at the back of the lineup, but the referee sees something he doesn't like, and again a chance goes begging for Bath.
Yeah, they'll be really disappointed with that one. Seems to have been the story of the night so far. Just not quite. It's just not quite flowing for us.
Yeah, I'm losing my head. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Left remark. Okay, there we are.
Yes, sir.
A few let-offs. Well, I say a few. It's been a number of let-offs for Durham where Bath have been on the charge.
Okay, balance, lads.
There's Josh Lilly just joining the side of the scrum. The Welshman wearing the number 20 jersey coming on in the back row. Known for his contact skills, his work rate, his dog. They'll want some hard work from him in this final 10.
Yeah, not the biggest of back rows, Lilly, but a quality player, tough man from Wales. He'll be raring this opportunity.
Well, you seem to be breeding these tough men from Wales. Obviously, you're without the influence of Jacko Davies, the talismanic Jacko Davies, who seems to be playing more and more for Bath in the Prem Cup.
Yeah, Jack's done really well for himself. Again, a good mate of mine, doing really well. A shame not to see them in the UBRFC shirts, but again, for the individual, it's great to see them doing really well and going on to, I guess bigger things.
Yes, a great pathway existing between Bath Rugby and the university as Hadfield lines up for another line out. The ball goes through the hands of his jumper. A minor mix-up, giving Durham a chance to finally spend some time in the Bath half. They've been utterly clinical when they've got into the red zone. They find themselves on the 10-metre line currently. Looks like Chris Johnston's into the fray. He's got power, he's got pace, he's got hands, and there's some of that we're seeing down that left wing for Durham, but eventually tackled into touch. Miles Rawston Rudd. Quick hands, Bath were caught narrow. Rawston Rudd was down the left, but great cover defence.
Yeah, good tackle there from Ethan Hutt, and also great work for James Catlin, big number 8, to get back and help him out.
I got 8 minutes.
Safely taken by Jordan Martin.
That's one sideways.
He's had a good game, Martin. Bath currently dealing with injuries in that second row. But the new pairing have stood up well as Styles goes on the burst. He breaks through the first tackle before he swung to the ground just outside his 22. Bath are playing now, they have to, they've got 2 tries they need. Substitute we just mentioned. Josh Lilly delivers a pass to Will Stride on debut, who was shepherded into touch.
Line, Bath.
And Durham can see this win in their sights. They've 6.5 minutes to negotiate. They're in the right part of the field. And Durham are having to chance, Bath are having to chance their arm now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be going our way at the moment, but it's not for a lack of trying. As you say, Hugo there going on a nice little darting run down the right, trying to throw it wide out left, but I guess when you're chasing a game, it's hard because a lot of mistakes often come up.
The line out sacked immediately, but the ball is in the hands of Jacob Collin. To Wilson. Still searching for this bonus point, Durham, and they have a penalty advantage from Styles not releasing the tackled man and then stealing the ball.
We've got 5 minutes.
Foles checks the clock. 5 minutes is the call from the referee, and surprisingly, Durham plump for the poles with a bonus point in sight, 14 points ahead. That's a puzzling decision.
It is puzzling. Interesting that you'd like to think the players know that they're on for a bonus point, so yeah, that is a surprising call.
Well, with Colin Markham off the field, the decision fell to Ben Foles. Is that going to be one that he's going to live to rue? You'll bet your bottom dollar on Rawston Rudd bisecting the post from here to take the lead to 17 points with the game almost home and hosed. Is it a waste? And extraordinarily, Rawston Rudd, who I bet my bottom dollar on, has pulled the kick wide.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision, and again, it didn't pay off for them either because he's missed the kick. But I think maybe the messages were coming on from the sideline. Let's win. Let's bury this game first, and the bonus points can come after.
So the 22 from Styles, he puts it at a contestable range, and Bath come up with the ball. The crowd cheer them on. Surely only a losing bonus point within their grasp now. If they're to win the game or to level the game, they'll need to score nigh on immediately. And Styles launches it wide to Will Stride, who steps and weaves, but he finds himself in a cul-de-sac of Palatinate jerseys. And this Durham defensive display has been mightily impressive throughout. There's Johnston announcing himself to the game.
Stop. Pittman, what are you saying, bro?
He's in front of the back foot.
Tackler didn't roll, affected the 9.
No, Johnston was legal. It was the tackler who didn't release. Durham can give penalties away at leisure. The position they find themselves in now, 14 points in the lead, 3 minutes remaining. They just need to see this out. And we just need to hear who your man of the match is, Max.
Well, I think I had said, but I think it's got to go to a Durham player because they have been dominant tonight and they've played really, really well.
I think there might be outrage on Twitter if it went to anyone
a few boys saying beforehand that it's got to go to a Bath player, but not tonight. Durham played really well. There's a lot of players who played really well. I think the sort of six, Josh Basham's done really well. He's contained Catlin very well. But then also you've got people like Charlie Sporforth who've come off the bench and who've had a massive impact on the game. But if I have to look at the sort of manner of their win, I'm going to pick Josh Basham for this one, just because he's been a dog. He's been everywhere. He's been carrying, tackling. So yeah, I think he's a well-deserved man of the match.
Josh Basham, the Durham number 6, takes the plaudits of my co-coms Max Senior this evening with the Yoti Man of the Match award as Bath continue to plug away. Credit to them and credit to that man, James Hadfield. He's left everything out there and done all he can to try and influence this result, but the way it's looking, the win is going up to the northeast to stop the rot. Although Bath continue to play, they continue to put air on the ball, but they're making no progress. They go route 1 with Austin Hay, the substitute and gang.
Yeah, how do you find the two games?
Wider it goes. Crunching hit on the right flank. Brings play to a halt, but Bath maintain possession. Until they finally spill under pressure of relentless Durham defence, and this is the final throw of the dice for them to gain a 4th try and a winning bonus point. The victory's in the bag. Do they know? The referee calls time. Colin puts the ball out, and the final whistle is blown here at the STV, signalling the end of an absorbing Bucks Super Rugby fixture brought to you by Yoti, and it is the Palatinate of Durham who come out on top, defeating the Brothers 13 points to 27. Max, your thoughts?
Yeah, deserving winners in the end. I think Durham, I think they played the conditions probably better than we did, and ultimately it came down to errors, and I think we made a few more.
Thank you, gents. Well played.
That's 2 defeats on the spin for Bath. Again, costly errors coming in to the reckoning. That must be very frustrating, having almost banished those Devons from last year. They seem to be rearing their ugly head a little.
Yeah, hopefully they vanish against Hartbury when we get them on the 12th. I think we have a week off now, so again we'll regroup. We'll go through the mistakes. Not me personally. The team will go through the mistakes. I still think I'm playing, and yeah, we'll learn from it. It's a tough one. Lots of new players have played today, which again is great exposure for those first years. Because I mean, if you look at the team today, the amount of second years in the team is is huge. So you need to start breeding these first year players. And yeah, I think that there's lots of learning to do from the defeat.
So lessons to be learned from this Bucks Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti, as we look at some of the highlights. And one of the contentious decisions being that forward pass from Hugo Styles. That would have really put the cat amongst the pigeons. as we look at the first try, and this really changed the momentum of the game. Charlie Wilson barreling over from 5 metres.
Yeah, massively, and no real sort of defensive structural errors. It's more just man-on-man tackles that were missed. So yeah, we'll be disappointed with that. But again, it's a hard one to defend that because you have to get a positive hit in, and he's ran at Hugo, and he's made a positive carry and gone over the line.
Well, Durham then came out of the traps and had the dream start to their second 40 through Henry Parmain. 41 minutes played right after the kickoff, and this was an absolute gut punch for the brothers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, just good, solid play from Durham. They're not doing anything exciting or anything amazing, but it's effective, and they came out on the to the second half with just a great deal of energy, and they got their reward for it.
Well, Henry Parmain cropped up again, this time on the right wing with a lovely show, go, fend and sliding finish to really put the game beyond Bath's reach. Try as they may to fight back, it was that try that was really the killer for your side.
Yeah, it was, and then at that point it's really hard to chase the game, and you saw us trying to chase the game because that's what you've got to do, but again, mistakes come with that. Although James came on Hadfield and had what I thought was a brilliant game, tried to get some momentum going forward, but just not quite enough today.
Yes, wonderful impact from James Hadfield, scoring there right by the post protector. And it was all Bath for the remainder of the second half. We saw a try disallowed to Paul Altier for a forward pass from Hugo Styles. Altier had another try disallowed as well, being adjudged to have put a tiptoe in touch, as I mentioned during the game. So Bath had their chances, they just couldn't execute them. As we see them in a reflective huddle down on the pitch. Aaron James with some cold words for his troops. Bath were riding so high with their 4 wins in a row. They now find themselves staring down the barrel of 2 defeats in a row. How do they turn it around?
They'll turn it around. I'm sure they will. As I say, it's tough. They have had a really good season for large parts. To get four wins on the bounce is something that our team haven't done for a long time. So there are lots of positives to take from the season so far. This is another setback, but again, they'll definitely learn from it, and they'll take it on to Hartbury, who we I think host here at the STV on the 12th of December.
So we've seen a team from the northeast come down to Bath and steal a victory, but the shoe was on the other foot last Friday when Exeter travelled up to northeast, albeit to Northumbria, and came away with a win. These are the highlights from last week's game.
But now's the first opportunity for the backs to make some headway, and look at that for a turn of pace into the 22, driving through. First venture into their opponent's territory. Can they come away with some points? 5 metres short, bang under the sticks. Over the line, they've reached out, they've scored! What a start for Exeter. 2.5 minutes gone, their first venture into the Northumbria 22, and they have a 5-0 lead. Perhaps a try-saving sack. Capstick. Pierre Thompson takes a step back, leaves it to the forwards, they're over the line again.
Mick, I've got no view of the grounding, you got anything? Try's good. Thanks, mate.
Try's been awarded. The referee relies on his AR to make the decision. Ollie White waits on the blind side, so Exeter go open. And Northumbria have no release valve. Exeter dominant in possession. Peters.
Back foot.
5 metres short, becomes 2 metres short. Jack Rouse has a look, goes around the outside. And there's an advantage coming here for offside as well. Northumbria too keen at the break, but it's another try, and Josh Peters gets his second. Signs of life here from Northumbria, and they've got the put in at the scrum. Josh Hodge keeping an incredible amount of width, but the free kick. Has he grounded that? It was the big number 8, Bordil. If he didn't, it's another great tackle. Oh, there's the try, there's the response. That's what Northumbria needed. And finally, the hosts are off the mark. Northumbria 5, Exeter 21. Well, he's managed to miss touch. So a let off for Northumbria as Bragman skips past one defender. And reinforcements arrive, so no turnover this time. Koki put in some depth on it as Northumbria really want to wind it up. Here's a little bit of space for Josh Hodge to run into, gets around the outside, and this will be a wonder try, and it is. Well, that's what he can do. We've seen him do it at 15, now he's doing it with the 14 on his back. But that is possibly the try of the week from Josh Hodge.
Yeah, just put his foot down, went on the outside and just gassed the fullback.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a game on our hands. See the final 22 metres of that sprint, but so much hard work done. Man short at this next breakdown, perhaps their busiest forward as well. Lots of work to do here. They're going to chuck a man up at the front, but Exeter almost unopposed. Looking to turn that screw. It's crude work, but it's good work. Advantage coming again. And this time, it's a penalty try. Well, it's been coming for Exeter.
Number 4, clear maul collapse, 4 goes to the bin.
And now Northumbria down to 13. 2 yellow cards in a minute. And after Northumbria running rings around Exeter for 10 or 15, they've got back to what they're good at. They've picked up 7 points, and Northumbria have lost 2 players. Skilled scrummager, but the laws of physics state that he's got an advantage already. And Northumbria going quickly, and there's a huge carry there. Ollie Robinson. Here's some width on it. Charlie Parkhouse. In and out and away. Here's a 2-on-1. He's offloaded that to Elliott for the corner, and that's a huge response. They're back up to 15, and they're back in the ball game. Northumbria 22, Exeter 28. And a touch of class there, first from Parkhouse, then the finish from Elliott. Admittedly, it's been error-riddled today, but unless they can get over the try line, this will be Northumbria not getting a bonus point at home, which is very often unthinkable.
Up under pressure.
Well, Matt Johnson, since he's come on, the Exeter scrum was in the ascendancy as it was, but he has changed it. And the referee has seen enough. It is a bonus point victory for Exeter, 31-22, the full-time score. And Bucks Super Rugby, watch out, because Exeter are back. They're top of the tree with Hartpury, and that is a familiar scene for many people who've been following university rugby over the years. Josh Rudling, a difficult evening for Northumbria today. They showed flashes of what makes them so brilliant, but mistakes cost them, and Exeter made them pay.
So welcome everybody pitch side down at the STV, and if you didn't need any more proof that Josh Basham really is a hard man of Durham, he's wearing no coat in bitterly cold conditions down here. But Josh, you put in a titanic performance. You are our Yoti man of the match and a really important victory for Durham.
Yeah, no, we knew how good Bath are as a side. They've put in some really good performances this season. So we had a real focus coming down after a long journey and putting in a good performance today.
You've done the double over them. Bath and you play quite similar styles of rugby, so it must be quite an exciting confrontation to take them on.
Yeah, we always enjoy playing against Bath. They're a very good rugby university. We really focused on our set piece today. We thought that could probably decide the game for us, which we put in a strong performance. So yeah, I think the boys put in a really good team effort and should be really happy with it.
What was said in the sheds at half-time by Alex Key, because you came out like a rocket and that really secured the victory, really, that score by Henry Parmain after 41 minutes?
Yeah, well, it was a very close first 30, and then the last sort of 10 minutes of that half we just gained a bit of a momentum. So it was just about coming out after half-time and keeping it at that level, if not raising it, which we managed to do through some quick ball and stuff like that. So that middle sort of 20 minutes of the game really, I think, won it for us today.
Okay, and I've got a question. You scored 3 tries, you're 14 points up, and you decided to go for the poles. What was the thinking there? Because if you'd got a bonus point, then you would have jumped above Bath in the table. But as it is, you're now just 1 point below and 1 place below.
I think it's just the respect we have for them. Like we knew we weren't that far ahead, and anything can happen in these games. So it's just making sure we get the win.
Is that quite a reflection as well on the importance of getting a win, having had the 2 losses, the one against Cardiff Met and the defeat against Hartbury last week?
Yeah, I think so. We've had 3 away games now, and they're always tough travelling so far. So I think it was just important that we tried to get a good result today.
Max, you got a question for our man of the match as a Bath man?
No, I was actually going to ask the exact same question as you about why they went for points, but it's a nice response, I guess, isn't it?
Okay, and Josh, you personally, you look like you're enjoying your Bucks rugby. There's a lot of competition with 4 quality back rows in Durham, but you guys seem to be rotating it nicely.
Yeah, we've got a really good setup. We all trust each other to do a job on the pitch. And everyone's backing each other. We all work as hard as each other, so yeah, no, it's nice.
Lovely. Okay, well, you are our man of the match. I don't have a medal for you, unfortunately, but I do owe you one for next time I see you. I think I'll be seeing you shortly. I'll let you get in the sheds into the warmth. Well played today, and congratulations to Durham. Josh Basham, a terrific performance. And why was it that you gave him man of the match, Max?
He just stood out with a number of other players in that sort of forwards pack for Durham, but he was just everywhere, every ruck, every carry. He was right in the thick of it, so I thought he was a deserved winner.
A deserved winner of our man of the match, and thank you for sticking around so long in this frosty atmosphere here. Frosty because of the weather, but frosty because Bath have sunk to their 2nd loss in a row. Now, if you are Bucks addicts like myself and you need a midweek fix, then look no further than the podcast The Buck Stops here, featuring myself and Dave Rogers, where we have news, views and interviews from all the key protagonists in Bucks Super Rugby. This week we had a special interview with none other than recent Scotland cap Sam Skinner, so jump on SoundCloud or Acast to wrap your ears around that. Looking forward to next week. The action keeps coming thick and fast, and we are up in Yorkshire for Leeds Beckett versus table toppers Exeter. Exeter recent joiners to the summit of the table, and Leeds Beckett, the narrowest of losses today. They have lost 5 games now, but they only have a points difference of -3. Such are the margins for Leeds. So that will be a cracking game before we go up to Northumbria for a game on Friday. It's a double bill next week. So it leaves me to say thank you very much for your counsel throughout the game. Max, will you join us again sometime, I hope?
I'd absolutely love to, yeah. Thanks for having me.
He'd absolutely love to. He looks like he'd like to race indoors and get into the warmth. But that is it from us at the STV. Bath have sunk to their 2nd defeat in a row, while Durham have righted the wrongs of the last 2 games, and they're back to winning ways, climbing the table in this league that you cannot separate. Join us next week up in Leeds, but until then, it's good night from us all.
It was so much easier easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and quite versatile as well.